And as a bonus, let's travel from one capital to the other. So we last time, I think, or the time before, we had a train trip from Bazara to Kronagrad. So that wouldn't be anything new. But now let's travel all the way via a public transport from Kronagrad to Harford. So that will take a while. So let's wait for the train from Mara to come into Kronagrad, and then we'll jump on that and get going. So, train is here. Then let's jump on it. And off we go. This is still the first ever train in the Harnet. And let's look at the ridership. So this is hardly profitable and will probably be replaced by proper buses once we get them. So here we see grain and bread being transported from the food factory over here to Charybda at the east coast of Ahana. Here is the Seoul train depot in Ahana, and I think no, it's not the Seoul one. There is another one in the south at Yelta, because there is no train connection across the mountain ridge that we see ahead, and I suspect there will never be one, because this has to go through a tunnel through all of it, and that's where I think the scale becomes unrealistic, because they wouldn't dig a tunnel under all of this. So then we will always have, at least here, buses and trucks going across the ridge. So now we're here, and now we have to switch to a horse carriage. So let's get off. And is this the right one? No, that's one of the internal ones, the counterclockwise. Ah, no, this goes to Saki, so let's wait till we get a horse carriage that will take us to Yelta. So good news, after a fair while, we now have a horse carriage arriving that will go all the way to Yelta. So what I'll do is, once we're on it, I'll put it on faster speed forward, because this will take quite a bit to get over the mountain ridge. And let's go. In record speed. These roads, by the way, are auto-generated roads for cities, because these sprawl to a huge extent, whereas there should be just unpaved roads. But I can't keep the cities from changing the roads when they grow. This is, by the way, still at triple speed, as you can see. And here are the lumber coming in. and then there will be tools on the way back to the south. The other horse carriages that you see with only one person but no cargo, that's private vehicles, so the equivalent of cars. They will be auto-generated by Sims who want to move between cities. So this is a third type of traffic beyond my own passenger horse carriages and cargo horse carriages. So we made it past the summit. I'm keeping autosave on because I don't want to switch it off in case something happens during normal build. I'd rather have autosave on, so... because I will most certainly forget to switch it back on again after a recording session. So we are almost in Yelta. There we can see the train. We'll probably just miss it. So, paved cobblestone roads have us back. Now we are in Yelta, and we are moving on to the train station. So, there we are, and then we wait for the next train to come in. So, after again a fairly long wait, there's the train. Not that popular, so there are not that many people waiting here, but this will all change once the trains become faster. So as you can see, it doesn't run profitable at this point. So then let's hop on. And I'll keep speed to normal for the entire train journey. So that's now Yelta, Leningrad, and then into Mara-Yelta-Port de Imen as the train station at the frontier. There is the port where the lumber goes, where it's unloaded and then onto the horse carriages. And here, as you can see, the terrain isn't that favorable to a train line, only this is a single track for that reason. So if buildings emit smoke, then they are working. So this is the sawmill, I think. So that's now the Afrenian Alps ahead as we're approaching Leningrad. And here's the other depot for Ohana for this southern part. So, oh, hang on, this is just a stop. This other platform isn't used yet. I just built the station a bit larger in case there will be at some point. So I could have kept all of the single track. And here the train is actually full, going to Port de Imen. So, as you can see here, this is the border station, so neither train can go past the other, and the other one happens to be there, so just be quick and hop right over to the Ferenian coastal connection, which is already pretty full. So there's our train leaving, going back to Ahana, and we're now in Ferenia, and going all the way to Marena. So not much happening here except the odd delivery vehicle. This will change massively once we get cars and then people drive on with their own cars between cities. So that's why this looks a bit lifeless at the moment. So there is the island with the one of the Ferenian food factories. So that down here is Kalidis. So there we see some decent ship traffic on the coast. And we're approaching Raikanta. And we see another coastal express here coming in. I think there are, it might be even 3 running, including some graphical glitches where addresses, I think, are hanging out the sides of the cars. And you can see always the pattern, some people leaving, some people entering. So, final look back at Raikanta before we get to the Frenian capital of Kerso. So here we have 2 lines, I think. One is stone coming down and the other one is lumber going up and tools coming down. And you can see the flat cars with stone in there as opposed to the covered wagons which transport the tools. Here's the Seoul Frenian shipyard in the distance. So here we have Terso. Here's the Seoul-Frenian train depot, and more ship traffic here on the coast. There are more ships in the game. I'm just simply using the cheapest one at the moment, so I'm just building for efficiency, especially cost efficiency at the moment, and I'll maybe add some flavor once we go into the 1900s. So, arriving at Porto Castelfranco with some ship traffic on the rivers here. That looks like bricks. So here's the town. There are a couple of people waiting at the bus stop. I'll probably have to look at that. And again, more people waiting at the train station. Let's see whether we can actually fit all of them. Yes. And we see the third Frenian Coastal Express passing us. So there are, I think, three trains on this line. In here, one with the orthographical glitch of addresses hanging out of the side of the car. These occasional hiccups, I think, happen due to the insane number of vehicles on the map, because that will be much less once we move away from horse carriages to proper trucks. That's probably a factor of 4 or 5, where we can reduce all this road traffic. And then so later maps are not that more power intensive than earlier maps, so you have less horse carriages and just more of everything else, including the Sims who go about on their own. Again, something smoking, so I suspect this is... No, this is not hookup, so apparently these also smoke on their own. Okay. Just a logging camp, I think, which I haven't used yet. So we are on to Via Stella. So, arriving at Via Stella, and in the distance we can already see the Hedvesian Alps, including the dormant volcano on the left at the Klaffenstein. So here's a busy port. And now we're looking firmly at Hedvige. Ahead is the Frenian border town, Marena, and there we have to switch trains again. And again, as you can see, clearly split tracks, one for each country's trains. And plenty of people waiting, so let's hope our diplomats pass, let's say, from Ahana will get us priority onto the Hedvigen train. So, that's it. Can I fit everyone in? Just being curious from a map designer's perspective. Yes, perfectly dimensioned. So then let's wait for the Hedvigen counterpart. So there we are. There is the Hedvigen Coastal Express and the second Frenian Coastal Express actually. So plenty of people waiting, so let's hop on first so that we can get a good spot. And I might have to upgrade those at some point. Yeah, so that's not working too well, but anyway, let's head on to Hedvige. First stop, Seilwies. So I think this was the border now. We're now on Hedvigen territory. There's the Frenian Coastal Express now going back. So here we have Gernau, but we can only see the tools factory from here. Famous Hedvigen precision tools. And a final look at the Frenian side of things. So here is Seilwies. Because I have to stop the town from growing into the painted on river there. Yeah, train is still packed. So ahead is not only the Klaffenstein, but also Friedhain am Meer. There's traffic taking bricks up to the Ungenstadt construction materials factory, stone up to the Ungenstadt construction materials factory, and bricks back. So now we go around the dormant volcano. And there you can see the bricks factory at Ungenstadt in full swing. Not full swing yet, but half swing, I think. The left is a logging camp that supplies the sawmill. So this is Gronwald, the Gronwald logging camp. There we see another Hedvigen coastal express. Here you have the horse carriages carrying logs, which you can, and so here are bricks going to Meereshofen, and here are logs going to the sawmill at Schuffenthal. There we go. They are waiting there to unload. And we are going down back to the coast to Meereshofen. Ships carrying stuff that looks like tools, maybe? For Meereshofen, the other good that the city needs. There's stuff waiting at the cargo exchange for the horse carriages. That's also tools. And Meereshofen, with the steepest incline, so kudos to those horses holding all the bricks in place. Probably the city with the amongst the most challenging layouts. And this actually works. That people can move down to the train station. As we might be able to see. Oh, they walk through the station first, so they're probably gone by the time they walk straight up the hill. So if you want to have your lunch meal next to the steam train route, you can have it in Meereshofen. So in the distance on the left we see Vianta already, and we are heading towards Berlau, the capital of Hedvige. On the left, the the Hedvigen train depot. So technically this would be Ibenhafen, directly at the coast, and Berla would be further inland, but there is no space. And I figure the capital is more important than a coastal city. So this is then the Berlau-Ibenhafen urban area. And Berlau here, at least our Berlau, is split into two by a river. So both sides of the river, that's both Berlau. On the left, the now dormant exchange for the horse carriages. None are running anymore, so this could be just demolished. And we're approaching Karlstadt am Strand. We will end this train journey and then hop onto the Gazmian train that takes us to Lawston-on-Cleres. So let's switch sides and wait for the Gazmian train. So there it is. So then let's join this train, which is currently half full and probably will be slightly fuller but not packed on the way back. It's actually packed, okay. This probably also needs one more carriage. So this is Karlstadt, am Strand. Yeah. There in the distance we just saw one of these innovative steam carriages going up the steep path towards Norbad. There we see it again, making its way up eventually. No, we can't see it there. There is a machine's factory up there. I think we are now, this is the border to Gizmir, I think here. So the farm ahead is already Gizmir. And on the left we see Vianta in the background. Portaminta in the far distance, including the passenger terminal for ship traffic. There are the highlands in the distance, the Gizmian highlands. So now lots of ship traffic towards the Great Lakes down here. With lots of different goods on these ships. Coal. And we're now going left to Lawston-on-Cleres. Here we see the old station of Lawston that's not in use anymore. There was no space to fit in all these additional tracks and platforms. So lots of people who want to go to Hedvija, from the looks of it. So now we have to switch trains again. Yeah, it's packed again, so this needs one more carriage, and no, we're not joining it. We're waiting for the next regular train to Harford. So there it is. Let's go back to normal, and not that many people waiting. So we should find a space, although this is already very full coming from Peña. But yeah, there are some empty seats, so that's fine. And now that's our final train that we have to board. And this now goes north towards Harford. But first we'll stop in Crofton. So here is the Winley steel mill. It should be smoking, because it should be working. I have to check that afterwards. So that's Crofton already. Crofton is also split by a river. And there's the tools factory that's smoking, so that's working. The ship delivering lumber maybe? And there are tools waiting to be distributed? No, that's machines. Ah, so then the machines factory is now working and I have to add a few horse carriages to ship these machines where they need to go. Cool. So here we have the Imen train depot. And plenty of ship traffic on the Great Lakes. And there is Harford, our final destination. In the distance, the Gazmian capital. On the left, at 11 o'clock we see the train south towards Springvale. On the right is the machines factory. The town's name escapes me at the moment. Here's the Harford port, the Harford station for coaches, and here the cargo station with plenty of stuff to be picked up by train. So I suspect they could, now that the machines are working, they need a third cargo train already up to Aylesbury, and that's our destination. So that was a journey more or less live, with me cutting out the waiting times for the next train. Otherwise live, and what I will do is do something like this every 25 years so that you can see the evolution of the convenience and the speed of travel across the map. Otherwise, hope this was interesting, and then see you for the next update. Thank you.